let's send mat1 to a method called fill squares. Fill squares and give it mat1. Now I'm going to do something a little weird with this. But not yet. Okay. So I'll give you the signature down here for it. Let's go public, static void, no return. It's called fill squares, and it gets an int matrix. Now, here are the directions. Fill mat with the perfect squares 0, right? 0 times 0 is 0. 1 times 1 is 1, so 1. 2 times 2 is 4, so 4. 3 times 3 is 9, and so on. So, how big is mat1? Mat1 is 3 by 4. So mat1 is going to look like first row 0, 1, 4, 9. Second row is going to be 16, 25, 36, 49. Is that right? And then 7, so 8, 64. That's 8, so 81, 101. Is that right? Okay, that's what we want it to look like. We're going to fill it with those numbers. So, now today I wish you wouldn't copy and paste these loops because you have to have these down pat for your next quiz after today's. Okay, but once you get it down, you can just Control C and Control V those guys. Because like I said, it's the same nested loop from now till May 12th. And so inside the loop, we're going to initialize or store each position with a perfect square. Okay. Of course, as you know, I want to put 0 times 0 in the top left position. The next one over, 1 times 1, then 2 times 2, and so on. So I think we'll have to use another variable, maybe something like int n, and make it 0. Do you see it happening now? Into the position of the matrix, we'll put n times n. Now, we got to change n, or else we're going to put all zeros in the matrix. So after we put n times n in there, let's increment n to the next value. And now are we done? Did we do it? Compile it? Oh, I got to print it out. I got to call print again, right, to make sure it worked. So up in the main, after you call fill, am I good? After you call fill squares mat1, call print mat1 again, and now let's see how it looks. Okay, looks lovely. 0, 1, 4, 9 in the first row, and so on. Okay, So fill squares, a pretty common type method to write for the AP exam. Pretty moderate to moderate easy by May 12th. Okay. Definitely not easy today. Let's do something different with Mat 2. Okay. Let's fill Mat 2 with random numbers. Hey, you know what? Let me stop you. Before we do that, let's talk about this. One more thing about fill squares. This is important and this is hard. I think. It's very abstract at least. Notice that it was a void. Now, we could have done this. Please watch. This is really abstract, this topic. We could have said mat 1 equals fill squares mat 1. That means replace this void with a matrix return type. And then down here, return mat. You see my changes? This is what separates, in my opinion, 4s from 5s frequently on the AP exam. Topics like this. Okay? Now, I'm no longer taking advantage of the fact that we're passing by reference. Objects are passed by reference to methods, which means the object you pass has the exact same location in memory as the parameter. This parameter is the exact same matrix as mat 1. That's not true for ints and doubles and booleans and strings. But it is for all other kinds of objects like matrices and arrays. So you could have done this, but if you did it this way, I would probably assume you're not really strong in the concept of passing by reference. Because again, this matrix is the exact same place in memory as that matrix in the parameter list. And so whatever changes are made to this matrix down here are felt up in the main. That's why we can just say fill squares mat 1, make the method a void, and not return this mat. It's the same mat. Okay, one more method for today. We'll see if we have time for a quiz. I'm going to give you 12 minutes for the quiz. We'll see if we have time for it or not. I hope we do. We'll see. Okay, so get back to my broadcast. Let's fill up mat 2 with random numbers. Okay, so let's write the method signature first. Public, static, it can be void, we just learned or just reviewed. Fill random. It's going to get a matrix to fill up and an int because it's going to fill mat with random numbers, random ints from 1 to n. So if I give it mat 2 and 9, ready? If I give it mat 2 and 9, it'll put random numbers in the range from 1 to 9 inside of mat 2. So let's make that method call. Fill random, give it mat 2 and 9. And then we'll print mat 2 to make sure it worked. All right, so it's the same outside loop, the same inside loop, It's even the same left side of this body statement. But now we need a math.random line. It all starts with you typing in math.random. Math.random by itself gives a decimal number in the range from 0 to 0.999. Math.random gives 0 to 0.999. If we times it by n, remember in this case, example, n is 9. Now we just changed our range. It was 0.999, and now it is 0 to 8.999. We're closer. We don't want decimals, we want ints. Right now it's 0 to 8.999. If we cast that number to an int, now we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8. Do you see it? 0 up to 8, the ints. Okay? This should remind you of our dice rolling programs in which we wanted 1 through 6. If n was a 6, this would give us 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what did we do back then? We added 1. Same thing today, add 1. Okay? Is that going to work? Are we done? What did I do wrong? Got a brace? Oh, I got a brace. More braces. Okay. Run it. Make sure we see some 1s through 9s. I'm seeing 1s and 2s and 3s. I'm seeing a 9. I don't see a 0. That's good. So I'm probably right. And I do see a 9. So make sure you're not getting any 0s. And make sure you are getting 9s. And we'll call it a good day. All right.